The 1,668th meeting of the Board of Trustees. Can I get a roll call, please?
Sure, Mr. Watson. Just a roll call. Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes. Have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have no comments. Trustee Nick Ziskin, you read the report of the Program Management Committee, please?
Program Management Committee report. The Program Management Committee met on January 31st, 2023 at 7:30 a.m. The meeting was attended by trustees Nico Zissin, Evans, Wilson, Wabi, and Watson, with trustee Fair online. I called roll and had no further comment. The minutes of the January 3rd, 2023 Program Management Committee were approved. The agenda items to be introduced tonight were presented and discussed, including a detailed discussion regarding the following items. Ordinance number 16063. Staff requested authorization to enter into an agreement and to award additional CSO volume reduction green infrastructure grant funding to Forest Park Forever for the construction of 2 bio-retention basins and lake improvements to store additional stormwater in the park lake system. This construction will reduce runoff to combined sewer tributary to the River des Peres. This project complies with the district CSO long-term control plan and the consent decree. Ordinance number 16064, staff provided bid and appropriation details for the Harlem-Baden Hamilton to Darver Trunk sewer project being awarded to Keeley Construction Group. Staff provided specifics on the bids received and explained construction impacts causing the project to be over the designer's estimate and planned project budget. Staff briefly discussed the financial status of the fiscal year 23 capital budget. Staff presented details on the contract renewal of several general services agreement contracts for engineering support services. Ordinance numbers 16070 through 16072 will provide additional funding for 3 geotechnical services contracts. These contracts support internal design staff with the design and delivery of consent decree and asset management projects. Staff presented resolution number 3815, which approves revisions to the MSD standard construction specifications for sewer and drainage facilities. Staff explained the process for updating and coordination with outside stakeholders involved in the revisions. This will be the 9th revision since the specifications were originally developed. The next committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for February 28th, 2023. The meeting was adjourned at 7:48 a.m. This concludes the Program Management Board comments report.
Thank you. Trustee Fair, can you read the report of the Finance Committee, please?
The Finance Committee met on January 31st, 2023 at 7:50 a.m. The meeting was attended by trustees Evans, Wilson, Watson, Wabi, Nicholson, and I was online. I called roll and had no further comments. The minutes of the January 3rd, 2023 Finance Committee meeting were approved. The first item on the agenda consisted of a review of the district's financial status report as of December 2022 by Director of Finance, Marion Geet. The district forecasts that both expenses and revenues will be slightly favorable to budget in fiscal year 23. Next, Marion presented the Adjustment Review Committee report as required by ordinance. Secretary Treasurer Tim Snoke then reviewed the district's operating fund portfolio as of January 25th, 2023. Tim indicated that the portfolio is in compliance with the district's investment policy. The last item on the agenda was an update by Tim regarding the status of the management audit. Tim reviewed the audit findings and management's responses. The next committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. The meeting was adjourned at 8:03 a.m. This concludes the Finance Committee Board comments report.
Thank you. Trustee Wilson, can you read the Stakeholder Relations Committee report, please?
Yes, I will. Stakeholder Relations Committee meeting board comments report. The Stakeholder Relations Committee met on January 31st, 2023 at 8:04 a.m. Meeting was attended by Chairperson Wilson, Trustees Evans, Nicholson, Wabi, and Watson, and online via Teams with Trustee Fair. Trustee Wilson called roll and had no further comment. The minutes of the January 3rd, 2023 Stakeholder Relations Committee meeting were approved. The agenda and discussion items were as follows. Resolution number 3814. The first agenda item was a discussion by Susan Meyer regarding a resolution for contract renewal for legal consulting services pertaining to stormwater and wastewater issues with Shands, Albert, Giannopoulos, Lucas, and Gilgen LLP. The resolution authorized the second one-year renewal term to the existing contract. Resolution number 3816. The next agenda item was a discussion by Sean Stone regarding a resolution for public engagement services. The resolution will authorize the district to execute a single source agreement with Standpoint Public Affairs. The original contract under ordinance number 15112 provided for an initial term of 1 year with 3 additional one-year renewal terms at the option of the district. This contract will provide the district with public engagement services for an additional 1-year term, after which this contract will go out for competitive selection. Executive Director update. The next agenda item was an update provided by Brian Holscher regarding nominations for the board chair and the vice chair positions. Brian explained the process that will take place at the March 2023 board meeting for nominating the positions of MSD board chair and vice chair and the term of each position. The new terms will begin March 16th, 2023 and end March 15th, 2025. The meeting was then adjourned at 8:06 a.m. The next meeting, committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for February 28th, 2023. This concludes the Stakeholder Relations Committee Board Comments Report.
Thank you. Do we have a report from the Executive Director?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, and it'll be a lot shorter. Just kind of reiterating what was in the stakeholders report. We will have the elections for the new officers at the end of the March meeting. At that time, we will select a county trustee as the chair and a city
Testing 1 2 1 2.
Okay, we're probably going to have to take it back. Sorry.
All the way to the beginning?
Which beginning?
122.
22.
Okay. Do we need to do the votes again?
So I think to be careful, since folks know they can see the meeting
Okay,
virtually, I think it's worth taking the votes again,
All
just to
right.
make sure.
I apologize. Starting over. We're ready to go?
Yes.
All right. We will start with item 22. The introduction of ordinance 16063, authorizing the district to enter into an agreement with Forest Park Forever for cost share for green infrastructure construction and the CSO volume reduction green infrastructure Forest Park Waterways project in the city of St. Louis. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Yes.
Mr. Wabi.
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Fair.
Yes.
Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Item 23 is the introduction of ordinance 16064, appropriating $6 million from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for combined sewer construction in the Harlem Baden Relief Phase 4 Hamilton to Darver Trunk Sewer Project in the city of St. Louis and village of Hillsdale, and authorizing the district to enter into a contract with Keeley Construction Group. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson.
Yes.
Mr. Wabi.
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Fair.
Yes.
Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Item 24, the introduction of ordinance number 16065, an appropriation of $2.65 million from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for sanitary sewer construction in the Amblewood Sanitary Relief Project in the city of Florissant, and authorizing the district to enter into a contract with Understall Contracting Company. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Nicholasison, sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Now, item 25, the introduction of ordinance number 16066, an appropriation of $5.68 million from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for sanitary sewer construction in the Florissant Dunn Sanitary Relief Project in the city of Florissant, and authorizing the district to enter into a contract with J.H. Barrett Construction. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 26, the introduction of ordinance number 16067, appropriating $4.4 million from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for sanitary sewer rehabilitation and public I&I reduction in the Bissell, Coldwater, Missouri, Merrimack Public I&I Reduction Contract D project in the cities of Baldwin, Fenton, and Sunset Hills, and authorizing the district to enter into a contract with In Situ Form Technologies. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 27, the introduction of ordinance 16068, supplemental appropriation of $100,000 from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for design of sanitary sewers, storm sewers, combined sewers, as stormwater detention basins, sewer separation, public and private I&I removal in the Harlem Baden Relief Phase 4 design project in the cities of St. Louis, Wellston, and the village of Hillsdale, authorizing the district to amend a contract with Parson Waters and Infrastructure. Is there a motion for introduction?
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 28 is the introduction of ordinance number 16069, a supplemental appropriation of $25,000 from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for design in the Harlem Baden Release Phase 4 trunk sewer rehabilitation project in the cities of St. Louis, Wellston, and the village of Hillsdale, and authorizing the district to amend a contract with GSO and PMO Incorporated. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Yes.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 29, the introduction of ordinance 16070, a supplemental appropriation of $85,000 from the district-wide stormwater fund to be used for general geotechnical services, and the general services agreement geotechnical contract A project at various locations within the district, and authorizing the district to amend the contract with Wrights and Gen. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 30, the introduction of ordinance 16071, a supplemental appropriation of $85,000 from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for general geotechnical services in the general services agreement geotechnical contract B project at various locations within the district, and authorizing the district to amend the contract with Geotechnology Inc. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 31, the introduction of ordinance 16072, a supplemental appropriation of $85,000 from the sanitary replacement fund to be used for general geotechnical services in the general services agreement geotechnical contract C project at various locations within the district, and authorizing the district to amend a contract with Geosyntech Consultants. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 32, the introduction of ordinance 16073, authorizing the district to enter into a contract with the Copia Tech Corporation to delineate impervious surface footprints and calculate the areas in impervious surface delineation services project. Is there a motion for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
All right, we'll move to resolutions. The first one is item 33, the adoption of resolution 3810, expressing the Board of Trustees' appreciation to Dan D. Dyerland for his 36 years of exemplary service to the district from May 19, 1986 to his retirement, effective February 1st, 2023. Is there a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 34, the adoption of resolution 3811, expressing the Board of Trustees' appreciation to Kenneth V. Flood for his 27 years of exemplary service to the district from October 9th, 1995 to his retirement effective February 1st, 2023. Is there a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 35, the adoption of resolution 3812, expressing the Board of Trustees' appreciation to Sharon L. Parker for her 39 years of exemplary service to the district from June 1st, 1983 to her retirement effective February 1st, 2023. Is there a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 36, the adoption of resolution 3813, expressing the Board of Trustees' appreciation to Michael W. Shelton for his 34 years of exemplary service to the district from August 2nd, 1988 to his retirement effective February 1st, 2023. Is there a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 37, the adoption of resolution 3814 to exercise option year 2 of a contract previously authorized by ordinance 15627, was adopted March 11, 2021, that authorized the district to enter into a contract with Shanzelber, Janlakis, and Giljam to provide legal consulting services on matters involving stormwater and wastewater rate consulting and associated regulations and policies. Your motion for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Item 38, the adoption of resolution 3815, whereby the Standard Construction Specification Committee of the district has recently viewed and developed standard construction specifications for sewers and drainage facilities projects which are intended to be dedicated to the district for public operation and maintenance. Is there a motion for adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Watson?
Yes.
Mr. Wabi?
Aye.
Mr. Nicholasison?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Fair?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
All right, the staff actually would like to pull item 39. We plan to bring that back for consideration next month. And with that, we have no further business this evening.
All right. Thank you. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Good evening, everybody.
Thank you,
Good evening.
everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, folks.